Hey everyone, hope you're having a great day. Today is going to be a little bit about finance rather than an automotive video, but people that are really interested as far as the topic that you can see in the description are going to really maybe resonate with my story and with my experience personally. So, without further ado, um, what I wanted to talk about today was how college and specifically student loans can really impact you as far as being a burden, and what are some things that I did to try even a little bit to get around that. And if you're at high school, if you're currently a freshman, a sophomore in college, there are definitely some things that I'll bring up as far as what I did from my experience that you might be able to use in your day-to-day life that you might not have really wanted to before you've heard about it. Maybe you haven't even heard about it and you just are thinking about what I'm saying and you might want to use it for yourself. So, one of the things that I did was when I was a freshman in 2012, I went my first year of college to the University of Mississippi. I lived in Massachusetts. I graduated from high school in Massachusetts. I knew absolutely no one. I had no friends. I had no family in Mississippi. That was just a school that I had applied to. And out of the five schools that I got into, including Ole Miss was the best one. Ole Miss is a nickname for the University of Mississippi. So I went there, and that was one of the biggest student loan and financial mistakes of my life. I'm only 26 right now, but I count that as putting me in a very deep hole at only 18 years old. Just to start out, starting out school, and I'm already treading water, and I'm already fighting an uphill battle. It was bad as far as being an out of state student at a public school in another state. I had to pay a lot more. I think it was like a $8,000 to $9,000 fee just for being an out of state student. I'll tell you a quick thing about that. I actually tried to get around that. My mom made phone calls to like the financial aid office. One of the ways of getting around that, if I didn't have any like, athletic ability, would have been they asked, "Does your son have any musical ability?" She said, "No, he doesn't play any instruments. He's never sung anything, and I wouldn't be good at any of that." But they said that there is a tuition waiver, like an out of state waiver fee, out of state waiver for people that are in like the Ole Miss band. So if there's like an opening or like an audition to try out to be a part of like the triangle or like a xylophone or something, like that would have been one way to do it. That was an extreme way of being able to save me from what I inevitably ended up with, which was a huge bill at the end of my freshman year that loans paid for, and also money had to be paid as far as out of pocket. That wasn't covered by like grants or scholarships or assistance or anything like that. So that's just a funny little side story as far as like the lengths that you might go to try to, get the waivers, get the fees reduced in whatever way you can. You sometimes have your parents, your mom, your dad call the school and see if there's an opening on the band, because sometimes they are able to produce something like that reduces a fee. So that was one thing. And Ole Miss was a very, like I said, very bad financial mistake for me. One of the better things that I did was I went to a community college for my sophomore year in my state, in Massachusetts. That was one of the best things I could have ever done. If you are like I said, a college freshman right now, if you're a sophomore, it's not too late. It's not too late to consider, if you're not doing well in school, especially, it's not too late to consider community college. I'm not saying it's way easier. I actually had some very hard business classes that I took at a community college, the one that I ended up graduating from. But it just makes it a lot easier, especially like the financial burden. Instead of not doing well with good grades at a big 4-year school, whether it's public or private, you're still going to be spending upwards of a minimum of $10,000 a year, $5,000 a semester, when the community college is $5,000 a year, $2,500 a semester. It makes a huge difference as far as failing at a 4-year school and having that debt versus maybe doing slightly better above failing, barely passing at a community college. It does. It makes a huge difference because then you're not saddled with that debt. And it is. Student debt today, especially for millennials, is a ball and chain. It makes it so that way your monthly cash flow is very poor because people have $200, $300, $400, $500, $700 student loan payments every month. And that takes a big chunk out of your income to try to, pay that every month. And you could be putting that towards a house or something like that. There's a lot of people that don't have any chance of that in their near future when they're young. They have to wait until they're in their 40s to even think about owning a home because of the large payments that they make with student loans today. So it's a huge ball and chain. Like I said, I went from a 4-year public school in another state, which had a huge fee to it that costs a lot of money, to then my sophomore year and junior year going to a 2-year community college in my state, graduated from there with an associate's in business, had professors that taught at some of the best schools, private schools in the world outside of the community college. The community college was their part-time job. It's basically working for free to teach kids like me, concepts that they're also teaching kids that are paying $80,000 a year in some cases for certain schools. So public 4-year school, 2-year school for 2 years and graduating with a degree. And then I moved on as part of a partner program to a 4-year state school, again, in my state of Massachusetts. It was very local, and my community college partnered with them. So I ended up graduating with my bachelor's in finance in 5 years. I also, like I said, though, got my associate's degree in business in 2 years. So my freshman year was like a mulligan. It was an unfortunate, here's a large sum of money that is being paid for out of pocket and through loans for the first year of basically not getting a whole lot out of it. I did not do well there because, again, I had no friends and I had no family. It can kind of take a toll on you when you're 18, 19 years old to be 2,000 miles away from home and have absolutely no one near you or, knowing that in your immediate area or even within 500 miles. It's pretty hard. It's not easy. So with that, yeah, that's my story as far as jumping from school to school, but it's not my fault, the first year as my freshman year, that was just a huge mistake. I should have gone right into a community college. That is my number one piece of advice from this video. I know that we're almost 9 minutes into it. My number one piece of advice, if you're not sure of what you want to do, but your parents are pressing you to go to school or you are interested in going to school, start out at a community college. Whether it's for 1 semester, 1 year, or 2 years and you actually graduate with a degree in the end, then you can then keep going on to a 4-year school and get your bachelor's and then maybe even onto your master's. Who knows? The world is yours. But I would definitely recommend starting out at a community college. If you were like me, a kid in high school that did not do that great in high school, just barely got by, a community college for me would have been the best thing financially and peace of mind as far as, I don't know what I want to do. I'll figure it out. It's better to figure it out at a community college. The second piece of advice that I would say would be if you don't end up going to a community college first, definitely pick many state schools to go visit if you're a senior in high school, before you make your final decision. Mix in some private ones just for kicks and just to see what it's like on like a private school, college campus, like the kind of amenities that you get and the kind of things that you would see. But definitely make sure your list is top heavy with state schools, because it is a lot less expensive to go to a state school if you're an in-state resident than it is otherwise. And that's, again, firsthand knowledge. The third piece of advice, so community college, state school, third piece of advice, do everything you can to make money in college. Do anything you can to lower your bills as far as books, if you live on campus in a dorm, like fun time stuff, like entertainment on like a Thirsty Thursday, on a Friday, on a Saturday night, like making sure that, you are, get a part-time job, is basically what I'm trying to say. Have little small gigs, work for Uber, go work at like a local pizza place. Do, if you're able to, like if you get FAFSA, enough money from FAFSA, then you can do work study. That's a great way. It means that it's part of financial aid, it's part of a package. You will work for the school and then you're going to get paid, but that again is part of like a scholarship that, the school offers. So, and then you can use that money towards paying down books, student loan debt while you're in school. And another thing that I did, when I was at community college, I got an email for a opportunity to go in front of like the board of directors at the school and kind of like as a first year student give my opinion on what I thought could be different, what I thought about the school's environment right then and there. And I made sure that I was one of the first people to sign up, because you were promised a $50 gift card to the bookstore. That's huge. That was free money that I could use towards one of my books that I wouldn't have to go off of Chegg or Amazon to try to buy or rent. Like, that's huge. That's a free $50 for, I gave 30 minutes of my time to sit in front of like people, in a bunch of like, suits and ties, like older people in like their 60s and 70s, the ones that ran the school basically or donated a lot of money to the school. That was huge. $50. That's very big. So that's what I mean. Any little side hustles that you can get, working at a pizza place, Uber, like TaskRabbit, doing like those kinds of little money jobs that kind of, help out. Anything you can do. Going to volunteer for like gift cards or credits from your school in certain ways. Like I said, like I just got like an email and I jumped on the opportunity because they're offering a $50 gift card to the bookstore. That's $50 less than I would have had to spend elsewhere, going outside to, again, like buy books and, rent books and stuff like that. So any little bit helps. So those are the three things that I would say: community college, a state school, and trying to, make as much money as you can while you're in school to try to pay down stuff. Whether it's bills, whether it's student loans, whether it's, your entertainment fund, because going out can be really expensive on, like I said, Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights. So that was pretty much what I wanted to talk about. And again, that's just my personal experience. Graduated with an associate's degree in business, graduated with a bachelor's degree in finance, got a job right out of school in finance, worked at that place for a little bit over a year, almost a year and a half. And now I've been with another place for about 2 years now, and still in finance, still in accounting. And I promise that if you just, take any bit of my experience, then hopefully you might be able to use that for yourself. That might resonate with you. Anything I just said, you might have already thought about, you might be thinking about, and I hope it helps. So, I hope that you enjoy my videos. If you don't, I'm sorry. Leave me a comment as far as what I could do better. I did spit on myself like 5 minutes ago, so that was my bad. If you caught that, that was kind of funny and kind of embarrassing. But I'm just one person. I make these videos off of my iPhone. I'm just in my apartment. And, I don't have lights, I don't have a studio, I don't have anything like that, nothing fancy. I'm just trying to give you good information that I wish that I had when I was in high school as a senior or starting out in school. So with that, hope that you guys have a really great day and see you soon.